This is the end of the beginning. Welcome to today's show. Obviously, I've been covering all the stuff going on with the food supply chain over the last couple of years. Specifically now, what we're seeing is a large push to destroy crops. We saw this with the outbreak that just occurred when our government was telling people the common cough and flu, which was supposedly what was going on, was more dangerous to the world than actually having a food shortage, so they told farmers to burn their crops. Well, remember, there's two things they want to target: food and water. So, obviously, by distilling chemicals into the air, not just from airplanes, but from trains exploding or purposely set fires going off, they're now able to contaminate the water supply as well. But wait, there's more. Because a lot of people say, well, you know what? They're going after the water supply. We need to find people with well water or be around well water. For those of you that don't know, well water is water that's pumped out of the ground. So even if the power's out, if you have a hand pump or some type of a well pump that doesn't go through electricity, you'll still be able to get water, but not for long, because the government's already looking at ways to create propaganda to make sure they could get people's groundwater. That's right. Because the same way that they're going to get away with telling people that it's safe and good to block the sun, and these idiots are going to go, we need to block the sun because of climate change. We're not going to worry about what the effects of blocking the sun could possibly be and about growing food. Forget that, because we could just go to McDonald's and eat fake food, or we could eat Z-Bugs. Well, humans are pumping so much groundwater, according to the government, that the Earth's axis has shifted. That's right, the Earth's axis. Now, I know, obviously, that's all bull crap that they spew about the axis and the Earth and all the things that everybody out there already knows about the Earth and gets into debates about the shape of the Earth. Let's just all agree on one thing here. Everything the government tells us is bull crap, and everything in the mainstream media is a lie. So now they're telling us that humans' unquenchable thirst for groundwater has sucked so much liquid from subsurface reserves that it's affecting the Earth's tilt, according to a new study. Groundwater provides drinking water for people and livestock, and it helps with crop irrigation when rain is scarce. However, the new research shows that persistent groundwater extraction over more than a decade shifted the axis on which our planet rotates, tipping it over to the east at a rate of about 1.7 inches per year. That shift is even observable on Earth's surface as it contributes to global sea level rise, researchers reported in the study published June 15th. So people are going to see this story, and they're going to go, oh my gosh, really? And they're going to start saying, yeah, you know, the Earth's starting. I mean, what are they going to tell us? What lie are they going to come up with now? That the Earth is, because the axis is tilting, that we're going to fly into the sun? Is that what they're going to tell us? They're going to come up with something to create fear. So people out there will literally agree with the government and say, hey, we need to ban people from having well water. Everybody needs to have city water. Why? Well, that way the government can control the water, because they control the city water. They control it. They poison it. The well water, it's a little bit more of a, there's a way you could obviously control it. You have it at your own leisure. Of course, if the well runs dry, which is something they're trying to do, which is why they're trying to prevent a lot of rain from happening, because they don't want people to have well water, right? Because you need rain to have well water. Instead, they'll, instead of using Operation Popeye and giving us water and cloud seeding so that it rains when there's droughts, no, they don't want to tell you that they have the ability to do that. Why would they? Because they want to have the ability to completely control your mind into thinking that climate change is real and we need to give up our food supply and our water supply and trust Big Brother, who's going to feed us plant-based food and estrogen up all the men out there and continue this downward spiral into the pit of hell. So they say Earth's rational pole actually changes a lot, said lead study author Ki-Weon Seo, a professor in the Department of Earth Science Education at Seoul National University in South Korea. Says our study shows that among climate-related causes, the redistribution of groundwater actually has the largest impact on the drift of the rotational pole. Bullcrap, excuse me. You might not be able to feel Earth's rotation, but it's spinning on a north-south axis at a rate of 1,000 miles per hour. These guys are hilarious. The ebb and flow of seasonal change is linked to the angle of the planet's rotational axis, and over geologic time, a wandering axis could affect climate on a global scale. So you see how they started by just saying, oh, it's just the axis. You're just like, oh, I don't really know what that means. Oh, well, now they're tying in well water, you having well water, into climate change. Why? Well, because they want your water. They want your food. They don't want you to be able to live independently away from them, because then they don't have control of you. It's as simple as that. And they want to make sure the food that you eat is all non-nutritious food. Foods that'll make you depressed, make you weak, give men more estrogen, right? That's what these plant-based foods do. They want to tell you that meat's bad for you. When in reality, if anybody out there wanted to lose weight, if you're out there listening, you're like fat and you're like, I really want to lose weight every diet I've tried. Don't eat anything with processed sugar. Try just eating meat. Have eggs for breakfast. Have chicken for dinner. Oh, guess what? You'll suddenly lose weight really, really fast. But they don't want you to be healthy. They want you to be obese. And they want you to constantly be hungry. That's why they give you food that doesn't satisfy your body. But now, not just only do they want to do that, not only do they want to make sure they have, that your water is contaminated, they want to make sure that they have control of your water too. So even if they're giving you acid rain for your well water, they don't even want you to have the ability to have water. So this way, they know people will die really quick without water, a lot quicker without water than without food. So what happens? Well, you turn to Big Brother for water. But what in return do you have to do? Well, you have to submit to Big Brother. You got to have a digital ID, right? You got to have the mark, right? You're going to have to do all sorts of things. You're certainly going to have a magic potion in your body that'll connect you with the Wi-Fi and the internet, et cetera, and have the blockchain and the digital currency, all that stuff. You're going to have it. So they're looking at it from this perspective. People are going to rebel against this. Well, when they're dying of starvation and dehydration, then they'll have no choice or they'll die other than to join our beast system. So we have to combat this, obviously. And we live amongst liberal lunatics. People, see what's so scary about this is these people are so empowered and they've created the last 20 years, they've created a society of narcissists, almost a different species. They think everything they say is right. And everything they say is a fact. It's just something they're regurgitating from a book or from the mainstream media. There's no thought process behind it. So when you say some of these things, they're just like, scientists tell us, oh, right. Because they don't think about anything as far as there could be a global plan, and these scientists aren't really scientists. They're just telling you this stuff so you believe in a fake reality, and then you regurgitate their crap and listen to everything that they say. They don't want to believe that there's people that are this wicked, of course, like I've been saying over the years, but they believe in all these Manchurian candidate serial killers, and they go, oh my gosh, these people are so sick, and they're so fascinated by them, but they don't realize that there's even sicker people who are running our Congress and running our government, I don't know, the same thing, but running our world, running all these organizations like NATO and the World Economic Forum and the Bilderberg meeting, all these places that they all go meet and they all go, people, what do they think they're talking about there? They're like, let's figure out a way that we can help everyone. We're meeting here in the Bilderberg in the middle of the woods in private, and we don't want anyone to know we're here, because we couldn't be doing anything wrong or suspicious, like figuring out the next fake disease to make airborne so people put stuff in their body, or, figuring out ways we could pollute the air more, the air quality, and create these fires. Where's a great place to start a fire? Oh, right, up in Canada. Then we'll tell everyone the jet stream has changed, if anyone's questioning why the winds are blowing south, and it's unbelievable, and nobody's suspicious, yet we live in a time period where everybody's divisive and everybody hates one another, but these people just seem to continually get away and stay out of the public eye, right? And of course, that's why they censor people like me, because they don't want anyone to learn the truth, because they realize if people learn the truth, then they would stop fighting over Donald Trump and Biden and realize that they're in bed together with one another. They're the ones creating the division. And everybody would say, let's put all these differences beside that they've enhanced and they've gaslit in our society, and let's get these people and let's start fresh and we can have our lives back. But no, they don't want you to have that or think like that. So they say revealing groundwater extraction's impact shifts in the Earth's axis are measured indirectly through radio telescope observation of immobile objects in space, using them as fixed points of reference. For now, the new study, scientists took the 2010 data about the groundwater extraction and incorporated into computer models alongside observational data about surface ice loss and sea level rise and estimates of. So they're not saying, they are telling you, they're not like trying to make you frantic, because they're trying to plant the seeds now. Because this is a brand new thing. No one's ever heard of this about well water. So you hear all these key things that we always hear in climate change. Sea level rise, right? Pole changes, right? And they'll continue on. Oh. And then what's going to come out of this? Oh, my goodness. If we stop, everybody needs to get rid of their well water now because we're affecting the climate. There'll be fake stories out there about the well water. Everybody with common sense knows how this is going to go. They want control of our water supply. They want control of everything. But most importantly, it's food and water, because humans can't survive. I know everyone out there, well, not listening to this channel, but the majority of zombies never think further than the fact to live, you need food and water. They think, I can't live without my phone. I can't live without my iPod. I can't live without my favorite musician's music. You can't live without food and water. And when you see the government telling us that we need to block the sun because the earth's getting too warm because it's too hot in Texas. Next, they're going to tell us it's too hot in Death Valley. It's too hot in Nevada, even though nowhere else it's hot. These are places that it's always hot. And all the forest fires, we saw them in California. Now we're seeing them in Canada. Well, that's because you start them. We all have video clips of you dropping fire from helicopters. Next, please. Do you want to tell us more? Does anyone out there see what's going on? And now they're telling you that well water, because this is a way that people can live independently away from the government, is dangerous to the climate because it's apparently the well water is causing the sea level to rise. Nothing that makes any sense, right? Pumping the well is what? Supposedly shifting the ball earth that we live on that they tell us, right? It's supposedly shifting the axis of the... are you joking with me? Are somebody kidding me? They don't even need to. They're like 1.7 centimeter. And people are just like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but it sounds very scientific. It's called bullcrap. It's called them making it up so they can control everything in your life. And the most important thing for them to control is obviously the food and water, because then they can really control you, because you have to submit to them or you die the worst possible death, which would be of starvation and dehydration. Probably. There's other ways, I'm sure, but, that would be one of them, right? I thank everyone for being here. I appreciate you guys being here and joining the channel. I hope you'll subscribe to my other channel if you haven't yet. It's important that you do. I thank you again. God bless all of you and your families.